Hello everyone, myself S. Bhandare. Today we are going to see loops in C programming. For this session we are concentrating on while loop. As we know, C executes the instruction sequentially one after the another, and one instruction is executed only for the once. But in some situation, if we want to do the particular actions for many number of times, that is repetitions are required, then with our ordinary practice we have to write down the C code for that many number of times. So it increases the length of the program, and hence it becomes complex to handle the program as a length is going to be increases. In this situation we can use the concept called as loops. In short, loop is nothing but the repetitions. In loops, we can execute the block of an statements for some particular number of times. So we can say that it is nothing but the shortest path to write down the particular or repetitive task in less number of C statements. When we want to repeat some particular part or the procedure or the actions for some particular number of times, then we can use the loops. In short, what happens in a loop is explained with this figure. As I already told you that in a loops, some particular number of times the repetitions are carried out. So how we can decide how many times the repetitions are carried out? To decide this, we are putting some kind of a condition, and the repetitions are carried out till the condition is true. Once the condition gets false, then a repetition stops. That is the logic used for the loops. As shown in this figure, the first of all the condition is true. Then if the condition is true, then conditional code, that is nothing but called as a loop body or repetitive task which we are going to be carried out, that is executed. Then as the repetition is increases, the count is going to be increases, and again the condition is going to be checked. If the condition is true, then again as the direction of an arrow tells you that again the loop body is executed, again the condition is going to be checked. This happens till the condition is true. Once the condition gets false, then we will be moved towards the next line, which one is written after the loop body. Now, what are the types of the loops? In a C, there are the mainly three kinds of loops: while loop, do while loop, and for loop. For the today's session, we just concentrating only on while loop. While loop, it is the one of the frequently used loop statement. This also follows the basic rules of a loop concept, that is, this while loop tells the compiler to repeat the series or the group of statements as long as condition is true, and if the condition gets false, the compiler stops repetitions and go to the next statement. Now let's see what is the syntax is used for writing the while loop. Firstly, we should have to write down the keyword as a while. Then in a round bracket, we have to put the condition. What the C compiler does is that if the condition is true, then what is the part we have to execute, that written within a pair of curly brackets. These number of statements together called as a loop body. That is, in short, if the condition is true, the compiler enters into the loop body, that is written in a pair of curly bracket. Within that, again, each and every statement is executed in a sequential manner, one after the another, and if the condition fails, then the compiler transfers towards the next body, which one is written after the closing curly bracket. This is the same I am trying to explain with the help of a flowchart. In this flowchart, first of all, the initialization is carried out. Then we putting down some kind of a condition. If the condition is true, then the group of statements or the loop body is going to be executed. As we are checking the condition, then there should be some kind of an incrementing or decrementing is required. So that is carried out according to the need of the situation. After the increment or decrement, again the condition is going to be checked down. If the condition is true, again loop body executed. The same procedure is carried out. Once the loop or loop condition is going to be fell down, then the exit from the loop will be takes place and control transfers towards the next line of the loop body. So I will be just summarize in this one, that is what is the flow of execution of the while loop. As I already explained that first of all we are initializing. So for initializing we are taking the help of one variable on which we are putting down the condition. So initialization means in short tells you that the condition will be what is the start value for the condition. Then we are checking the condition. If the condition is true, then execute the loop body. If the condition is after that, we are going for incrementing or decrementing the value of the variable which will be initialized. So it is going to be incremented with some common amount, and then again condition is going to be checked down. If the condition is true, then again we are moving towards the step number 2, that is checking the condition. And if the condition is checking the condition, if the condition is true, execute the loop body and again go for increment or decrementing. And if the condition is false, then loop stops and control transfer toward the next statement of the loop body. Here we will be just see one example. So firstly we are included over here the header files starting down the main program. Within that I am considering one variable, that is n. As I have explained, what is the first action taken out in the loop is that initialization. So I have write it here that integer n is equal to 0. That is I am going to be initialize the variable n at the value is equal to 0. Then we have written down the keyword as an a while. According to the syntax of this while loop, we have to put down the condition into the round bracket. Here I have put down the condition that n should be less than or equal to 5. That means the condition is that n value we are going to be checked, or the end value of the variable n is nothing but the 5. If this condition is true, then what we have to carry out, that I have written in a loop body in a pair of curly brackets. I want to print down the value of an n, so I use the printf function, and then as I already told you that within the loop body we have to go for the incrementing or decrementing the variable. So n plus plus means for each and every iteration I am going to increase the value of the n variable by once. So at the start initialization n is equal to 0. So here condition is going to be checked down, is 0 is less than or equal to 5. Condition is true, hence it executes the loop body. The printing of the variable n is going to be carried out. So in the output the first value will be comes as a 0. Then n plus plus means now the latest value of n is 1. Now again condition is going to be checked down, that is 1 is less than or equal to 5. Yes, condition is true, hence we are printing the value of n variable, that is now in output 1 is going to be printed down, and this repetitive action will be carried out. Once when n value is 5, still the condition is true because we have putting down here equal. So 5 is equal to 5, yes, and hence again body is executed. But for the next iteration n value becomes as a 6. So is 6 is less than or equal to 5, condition false, and hence the control transfer towards the next line of a loop body, that is get ch, and hence the program stops executing. That is we can take the output as the values of an n from 0 to 5. This is nothing but in short how the while loop works. Now here we are checking down one program which will be decide that entered number is palindrome or not. What is palindrome means that if the original number and its reverse number both are same, then that number is called as a palindrome number. So here we are using the logic is that we are firstly separate down each and every digit from that particular number and then print it. So it will be helpful to reversing the number. In a start, we have included the header files. In a main, so first of all, the declaration of the different variables is carried out. Then take out the number from the end user. Then for that we have used here the scanf function. As the number is integer, we have used over here as an %d and number. Now temporarily I have just put down transfers this original number into one another variable whose name is original. Now with the help of a while loop, I am just checking down that the number is palindrome or not. And for this I have used the while loop to check out the number is ended or not. So here I have just used the condition that we are doing the repetitive action till the number is not equal to 0. As I already told you that we have to separate each and every digit from the original number. So for that we are using the percentage operator. The percentage operators gives me the reminder, and for that I have used that number is going to be divided by the n. So whatever the reminder, it is going to be stored into the b, and hence the last digit of the number gets separated. Now we know that the basic logic is used that just to move from the ones position towards the tens or from tens position towards the 100, we have to be multiplied that number by the tens, and that is the same procedure is carried out. I am going to be reverse down the number and stored into the variable rev. So originally this rev is initialized as the 0 value. It is going to be multiplied by the 10, as it will be moved from ones position towards the tens and from tens to the 100 and so on. And within that multiplication we are using the reminder. So for example, there is a value number is in a 12. So first of all, 2 is going to be separate down. It is going to be multiplied with 0 into 10, 0 plus reminder is equal to 2, and hence that is the procedure is going to be carried out. Once the last digit is going to be separated, again we have to be format one new number which is again stored into the same variable name by dividing it. So it will be less down the total length of the number, and this condition is going to be carried out till the number is not equal to 0. Once the number becomes as a 0, then we are going to be checked down that the reverse number and the original number are the same or not. For that we are using the if else. So in a start we have put down temporarily the original number into the variable called as an original. So I am using that on the same variable name to checking down the condition, that is original and reverse numbers are equal or not. If equal, we are going to be print that the entered number is palindrome, else we are just taken out the message that the entered number is not palindrome. Nextly, we are just taken out one another example of a while loop. Here we are trying to find the multiplication of a digit of an integer value. That is, whatever the number I have entered, I have to give the multiplication value. For example, I have entered the 32 number, then 3 into 2, I want the answer is equal to 6. Now let's check out. Firstly, again we have included the header files. Then within a main we are going to be declared and initialize the variables which are required for the entire program. The firstly, we are entered the number from the end user. For that we have used the input function, that is a scanf. The number is stored into the variable name as number. Now I am putting down the condition over here is that still the number is not equal to 0. As we are interested to go for the multiplication of the individual number, and for that we have to be separate down the individual digit, and for that again we are using the same logic, that is we are taking the remainder of that number, and for that we are multiply that number with the 10, and the remainder is going to be stored here into the b variable. Now this b variable is going to be multiplied, and the multiplication answer is going to be stored into the variable that is m. Initially, this m is initialized at the value is equal to 1. As this one is in a multiplication, we have to start the value from the 1. And then again, new number is going to be built by the division of the 10. So if I just entered the value as 365, so for the first one, 365 modulus of 10 means the 5 last digit is going to be separated down. The b value is equal to 5. 1 into 5, the latest m value is nothing but 5. And what is the latest value of an NO is that 365 divided of 10. So with this, we will be get the new value of number as 36. The same happens again, going to be check out the condition as number is not equal to 0. The same procedure is carried out. And the m is the variable where the final value of multiplication of individual digit entered by the end user is carried out. And that number is going to be printed at the last.